Hello everyone and welcome back to The Lion's Den. I'm your host Matt, as always, and this week we've got a few little interesting tidbits to talk about. So cast your mind back to Saturday, so 26th of June. I was doing a public, in-person university open day. So I am a student ambassador, which means that I get to talk about myself and the course and my university experience to prospective students who are interested in coming and doing the same thing that I've done. I really quite enjoyed doing that. It sounds a bit narcissistic, honestly, but I like being able to give my perspective on something I've done that other people are interested in doing to hopefully help them decide whether that's what they're interested about. So I think I couldn't have asked probably for a better day. I mean, I wish it wasn't quite as windy because it was, I think, about 18, 19 degrees Celsius, which is a good temperature. You can comfortably sit outside in a jacket and be perfectly fine. The only slight problem is it was windy, which means it feels cooler than it actually is. And that honestly did lead a little bit to slight discomfort and feeling cool and cold. Especially when it's constantly blowing on you, you kind of feel sort of shivery and whatnot. But it worked out in the end and it wasn't bad. It didn't rain, that was the good part. But then it also wasn't swelteringly hot, which would have been far worse because we had to be outside the whole day with sort of the rules and guidelines that we had to follow. So if it was, 25 to 30 degrees, that would have been uncomfortable. The best part, I think, was as a sort of staff member, student ambassador, I was allowed a free coffee, which was nice. And kind of how when you have a cool drink on a really hot summer's day, well, a cold drink on a windy, cool day is just as good. It gives you that really nice sensation, that warm feeling, and it tastes better, even though it's not better, it's psychology and whatnot. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking to a bunch of the students, had some funny questions, because parents always ask weird questions when it comes to, oh, what's my son/daughter going to be doing, or is it this good or is this good, and but it's just standard fare. And we had what's called a double pendulum. If you don't know what a double pendulum is, essentially think of a standard pendulum in like a grandfather clock, but now add a second pivot point halfway along it or some way along it. This is a great demonstration of the concept of chaos, if you want to look that up. The idea being that you can set the double pendulum up in the same position, exact same position, but because, air currents and weirdness with the mechanics of the device you've built, you can't predict where the pendulum will oscillate to, and it won't ever oscillate to the same pattern twice, regardless of how perfectly you set the system up. The universe is too weird and wonderful. So that was really nice because it kind of draws people in, whereas a lot of other subject stands just had the people sat in front of a small little white covered desk to talk to. The other nice thing also, we had a lot of female students coming. I know personally from doing sort of outreach work that we have a real big imbalance between males and females in physics specifically. And that really just comes down to sort of the perception of the subject. It's still very old-fashioned thinking, all mathsy and stuff, and that's a male thing, which is a stupid thing to consider because women are just as capable as men for doing maths. So why that idea still persists now is completely ridiculous, but it was really encouraging to see a lot more female students coming and actually being interested in just physics, not like nursing or medicine, the stereotypical types of jobs. So that was nice. Right, next thing, we got the release of the new DLC character for Smash Bros. So it was announced at E3 that we were getting Kazuya from Tekken, the Tekken series, which I've played very little of the Tekken series, but he was introduced into Smash. I quite liked the Sakurai Presents. That was quite funny with how he described the sort of development of him and then how he showed off the character. That was quite fun. Bless his soul. The whole thing where he tried to do the 5v1 and then just got his butt handed to him. That was quite funny. But, that's what you get when you try these hard things. But that was fun. I've been playing him a little bit today because he came out, I think, 1 a.m. on June 30th for the UK. So I've been playing him this morning and he's honestly kind of nuts. He's really strong, and a lot of his toolkit kind of combos into itself, which is, I suppose, how he's meant to, because that's based on his character. But he has a lot of moves that can break shield. He has a lot of moves that cause tripping or that fainting fall down thing. His up special has a hitbox on the start of it, so it's a really good out shield option. He has like stupid number of moves. He has, I don't know, 20 plus moves maybe, because depending on how you tilt the stick in the 8 cardinal directions, you get a different move, and then depending on timing you get different moves, and then there's like 5 different Shoryuken moves that you can input, and then there's the whole rage drive thing, which changes moves again and makes them stronger. He's just nuts, honestly. He doesn't have the best aerial game, but if you just grab someone on the ground, you can pressure them to no end. And I imagine when people really get into the nitty gritty of how he functions, and those people that really understand how to apply the whole Shoto style, oh my goodness, it's gonna be insane. You'll either not get an edge word in against him, or you'll just absolutely dominate him. Because that's the thing I've noticed is when you're in disadvantage as Kazuya, you're in disadvantage. It's really bad. And I know it's day one, but like me and my friend were messing around with it. I decided to switch off and play Banjo and Kazooie whilst he played Kazuya again. I absolutely cooked him, not gonna lie. That's not trying to be egotistical about how good I am, but I think Banjo's toolkit really messed with him, especially projectiles. I think projectiles are going to be a huge pain in the butt for him. He does have the reflector, but I think again that's a command input, so yeah, kind of situational, and you have to have phenomenal timing to get that to work. But honestly, he's either amazing or terrible, but from what I've played and experienced, he's nuts. I mean, we were playing a match. I was doing Kazuya, he went Terry, right? He did the whole Power Geyser thing. Crazy move for Terry, right? But I mashed down B with the Rage Drive in it. And I won! I won that interaction. I armored through it, grabbed him, killed him. That's nuts. That's honestly insane. That you just said, no, this is my combo now. I win, I kill you, even though you pulled off a really powerful move. Just, nah, thanks. This one's mine. So I can imagine he's going to be absolutely insane to watch other people play, because I don't think I can handle him personally. He's nuts. And that's all I can say, because I've only played him for like maybe an hour, but I can already feel that he's going to be extremely interesting. Small update then for the final little bit of time. I decided to pull the trigger again and buy a computer. Fingers crossed that this time it all works out. I checked all of the specifications this time, including the size of the device. I even went and saw a similar style model that was the same dimensions, and that seemed far more reasonable in my opinion. So we'll see. I haven't picked it up yet because I'm kind of nervous and kind of thinking about it, sitting on it. What I plan to do is I'll go pick it up and then wait. I won't take it out of the box. I'll just kind of sleep on it, make sure my brain doesn't completely freak out, because apparently that's my thing. And we'll see. Also, I hope this sounds better. I've seen these things online where people make budget recording studios by like flipping duvets up and mattresses and stuff. So I decided to try that myself by nestling my computer and the microphone into a corner of my room with a bunch of pillows and stuff surrounding it. So I'm hoping this kind of stops some of the reflections, and I'm talking quieter as well because I don't want to have to shout. That would be really awkward. But anyway, we will see about the computer, we'll see about where Kazuya takes us, and I'm also kind of sad that I'm not going to be doing any more student ambassador work because honestly I really enjoy it, and I kind of hope that I can get a job that does something very similar in terms of helping people via my experience. That sounds really egotistical, doesn't it? Anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I do like hearing back from all of you, and I'm very thankful that I have some support. Even if it's small, it just means that this is worth doing. Anyway, see you all next week. Bye.